I need my notes. Hello and welcome back to my channel. So Animal Crossing has eaten my life. I ended up getting a Switch sometime last week, and it has devoured me. I was going to do another Sims video this week, but instead we're going to look at how much Animal Crossing has eaten my life and do some island tours. I would show you my island, but it is trash. So we're gonna look at some other islands by people who've put in more time than me and are far more talented at interior and exterior design than me. So I asked a bunch of people if I could tour their islands. I pulled from 2 Facebook groups that I'm a member of. You should go join them if you have any kind of interest in this stuff. Or if you're a member of one but you're not a member of the other, you should cross-join because the audiences are kind of different, but they're all really, really nice. I got an overwhelming amount of responses. I didn't think this many people would be interested in having a complete stranger give their unsolicited opinion on their island, but a lot of people were. I got over 100 responses, thank you for that. And I might make a part 2 of this series, given that there was a lot of interest. Basically, I picked 14 people from that 100-ish who could, speak with me that day, and we set up some times. And I spent about 10 minutes on every island. I had 2 main rules. One was that I wasn't going to pick up anything that wasn't explicitly for me. Like, there were things all over the ground in a bunch of places, but I didn't want it to be something where I was, like, shopping. Like, this is me talking about an island. So I kept it to things that people were just like, this is for you. I wasn't going to be rude and, say no, because that feels rude to me. But I also wasn't going to ask for anything or, try to take anything that they didn't explicitly give me. My other thing, and I realized this while I was editing, is that I didn't get to see the insides of everyone's house, so it felt unfair to include the interiors of houses when I didn't get everyone's interiors. So even though there were some very kind people who showed me the insides of their homes, I'm only going to be reviewing the outsides of those islands. I might do like a home tour. If people want to see that, let me know. But for right now, we're just keeping it to the exteriors, the islands, what you guys have going on there. So let's get going. The first island that I went to see was a Disney-themed island, and it was absolutely beautiful. This was kind of my first exposure to a themed island, and I think that a Disney-themed island was very unique in terms of like a choice. I liked the displays, I liked the dresses that they kind of had out in the square, and I liked the fact that the displays kind of mirrored Disney displays. So they had like the fountain, they had the sort of cemetery, they had like the Hall of Progress with like all of the science things, and I just thought that it was a really cool theme for an island. My favorite feature of it was the teacup ride, and their favorite was the cemetery. The second island that I looked at was Delfino, which was sort of a more variety island. This was also my first exposure to a sort of vineyard display, which was honestly my favorite part of it and hers too. It was a beautiful island and I enjoyed a lot of the design of it, including the flowers, which had this really sort of nice gradient to it, so excellent job there. The third island that I got to look at was Hen. It was sort of a smaller, more in progress island, but I really liked just how enthusiastic the owner of the island was with putting everything that they were interested in all in one spot. My favorite part of it was the rush tiles that they had, and their favorite part was the Godzilla statue that they had. My next island was Tortuga. They had this very subtle political message going on. I'm not really sure if I understood it. It was very subliminal. But the island itself was beautiful, lots of very colorful rainbows. My favorite feature on it was the rainbow bridge that was sort of heralded by some gummy bears, and their favorite was the dispensary and castle that they had on it. Next was Fay Deep, which had a beautiful orchard, and just a lot of really nice nature scenery. The time of day that I visited also probably helped because it had this nice soft sort of yellow lighting to it. My favorite part of it was the orchard and the flowers. Their favorite part was a tea house that they had situated on the northern part of their island. My favorite part of Fish Farms is the tile work, which is this exquisite brickwork that just happens to be in my favorite color. But they also went all out with the tiles in other places, such as the museum, which just happens to be the owner's favorite part, which is sort of styled like an actual museum with vending machines and like a gift shop area, and it's just really creatively done. Moonrise Island actually has a theme to it. It's sort of a murder mystery that I ended up getting a nice walking tour of from the owner. My favorite part of it is the thematic adherence and how strongly they stick with the whole horror movie vibes of it all. And their favorite part is the graveyard, which I agree, it's very detailed. Reverie is a very natural island that's sort of allowed for more like appreciating the nature of it rather than focusing on specific items. My favorite part of it was the gym on the beach, and their favorite was a zen area that you can tell that a lot of love and effort got put into the display of it. Kauai as an island actually kind of intimidated me because right off the bat it all looked very Instagram and I kind of felt like I shouldn't have been there. But the owner was very nice and the island was beautifully put together. My favorite aspect of it was the lighthouse area that got sort of a mermaid makeover, and her favorite aspect of it was the house, which was kind of done up like a Barbie mansion. It looked great. The Neverland Island was beautiful and very detailed, and I sort of feel bad because I ended up thinking that it was a free explore, but the owner of the island kept following me, possibly for loss prevention reasons, but also possibly to try to give me a guided tour, which I made very chaotic, and I'm sorry. My favorite aspect of it was the framing around their house, and their favorite is the rock garden area. In Peach Pit, there was a lot of focus on nature with a lot of forest and camping grounds, as well as a very dense orchard and an interesting little forest trail area. But there were also some sort of small town America vibes, especially up in the northern half of the map with the football field. My favorite aspect of it was the waterfall display with the flowers, and their favorite aspect of it is the museum. Tiki Island had a lot of things going on, but I appreciated all of them, and they all kind of came together with the sort of bright color palette that the weather was giving us. My favorite area was the house area for her, and her favorite was also her house, which was really well put together and was in a very nice location. The last of our themed islands, Unova, had kind of, as you can imagine, a Pokemon sort of theme, which I really appreciated. As somebody who enjoys Pokemon a lot, it was cool to see that represented, but they also spend a lot of time trying to cater to their villagers by having you know, a panda throne for one of their dreamies, and a performance space for Kyle, who happens to be one of my dreamies. So that was all really good. Their favorite part is the panda throne, and my favorite part of it was also the panda throne area. Last but not least, we have Bootylicious. I think they were trying to say Bootylicious and just didn't have enough space. My favorite aspect of it was the tile work done out by the fruit trees. I thought that that was really creative. And their favorite aspect of it is Mabel's shop, which I don't think I saw during my tour, but I, believe them when they say that it's their favorite because the shop work that they did with the museum and Nook's Cranny looked great. So what have I learned from touring 14 islands in a row? Well, for one thing, the Animal Crossing community is crazy nice. If you've ever gone into Mortal Kombat or something similar and thought like, wow, the community here is really toxic, stop by the Animal Crossing community. They get a bad rep, but I didn't have a problem with anybody, and I actually had a really nice time. Everyone was super nice and very supportive, very kind. So, learned that you can't always trust a group by its most vocal members. Another thing I learned is that there are a lot of different ways to be both decorative and functional within the confines of Animal Crossing. There were a lot of people who used a lot of the same items and tools, but they ended up creating completely different islands. If I could go back and do this differently, I would have planned things out better. I probably would have started a week ahead of time. I would have vetted a bunch of people. I probably would have tried to get a theme going so that I could, make the whole thing a little bit more cohesive. And I also probably would have gone into more houses and gotten more guided tours, because that, I feel like, would have added to the experience of it all. Without guided tours, the fact is that I might have missed some people's favorite aspects of their islands, and I think that might be why a few people tried to give me more guided tours rather than let me do the free explore, as well as for loss prevention reasons. They probably don't want me screwing up their island, which is understandable. If I had to pick a top 3, it would be Unova, Tortuga, and Fade Deep. And that is all that I have for you guys today. Let me know if I can do more videos for you like this, if you want to see more Animal Crossing stuff from me, if you want to see my garbage fire of an island, I'm more than willing to put it on display. And also be sure to comment and subscribe and tell me what your favorite one was and what you would want to see more of. And I will see you guys next week. Take care. Bye-bye.